One more time. Hello everyone, it's your fairy godmother Mint, and welcome back to the Mint Coven. Today we're going to have a very chill, very relaxed Q&A. I got loads and loads and loads of questions in my, question box on Instagram, and I separated them into several sections. I had some questions about magic, some personal questions, some about crystals, some about the fae, just all kinds of questions. So I'll answer some of those in different videos based on that subject. Today I'm just going to do a mixture of magic questions / some personal questions. Just very relaxed. Get a cup of tea. I'm drinking cacao tea. It's so good. I've got my Hobbit ambiance in the background. You can't see it. Can you see it? Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and get into these questions. Let's just go ahead. I got some random ones here. How do you maintain a morning / night routine? I don't know. Let's, anyone want to take that? Anyone want to go ahead and answer that question for this person? That's nice and cool. When it comes to any kind of routine, I think it's important to write down everything that you want to do, that you want to accomplish, and make those goals attainable. Literally write down every step to your morning routine and have that somewhere where you can see it so that you can mark those things off. A whiteboard is great, a chalkboard is great. That way you can cross them out and erase them and then write them back on, or you can do what I do and write them in your planner every day so that you can make sure that you're just checking them off as you check off everything that you have to do. So I write down every single step, get up, put your phone down, go in the bathroom, brush your teeth, have a glass of water, water all the plants, do everything that you have to do, sit for a couple of minutes and meditate, and then have a time frame in which you want to get all of these things done and set timers on your phone. I have 6 timers go off a day on my phone, just marking off the time points of when this should be ending and when this should be starting. And it sounds kind of robotic, but it really isn't, because the day flows really nicely that way, so that at one point, once all that stuff is done, the rest of the day is free for you to just enjoy, do whatever, blah, 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 but you already have all those other things done. So lists, I'm telling you, listing is just the key to life. Lists. How do you handle harassment when it comes to what you believe in? So this was a several-part question. I just dropped my labradorite. A several-part question. This person had been shopping for crystals and they were harassed by someone, which really sucks. For me, the most important thing is just to remember that when people are getting all upset with you and angry and they want to yell at you and confront you in certain ways, all of that is built up and based off of ignorance and them not understanding or taking the time to understand your point of view or what your belief system is anyway. A lot of the time people just they prejudge and they don't even try to understand, they don't try to educate themselves, and then they get so angry because they don't understand, and then they just they get all blood pressure goes up and they're getting all mad and they're yelling and stuff like that when you're just having a chill day. If someone else is exploding and erupting with anger and you're just chill, they have the issue. You don't have the issue. You're fine. You're chilling. And they're getting all upset because they have to work out something within themselves. They have to decide whether or not they are going to allow themselves to be, transformed into this angry Hulk by something that they don't even get, that they don't understand. And that is not the subject's fault. It's their issue. It's not your issue at all. It's never your issue. People are sending you hate comments and rude DMs, stuff like that. That's their problem. That's not your problem. It's a reflection of them. It's not a reflection of you at all. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them and their own issues. So just try to meet them with as much understanding and love as you can, and just be calm and try not to freak out back at them, because that's not going to help anything. It's not going to resolve anything. It's not going to open up lines of communication or anything like that. So I think it's best to just smile at them and okay, sorry you're so upset. I'm gonna go get some cheesecake, and just kind of if you can just walk away from the situation. Just separate yourself from the situation, because it really isn't good for either of you to be, yelling at each other, or one person being yelled at. It's not good for anyone. So if you can, just remove yourself from the situation and understand that it's not really about you, it's about them. What are the most influential books you've ever read? Okay, so this was a difficult one to answer, because I read a lot of books. I read loads and loads of books, and I love them all so much. I just love storytelling. And I thought about it, and when I really got down to it, the story that influenced my life the most was definitely Anne of Green Gables. Definitely. When I think about that character, I think about Anne Shirley and everything that she went through, and then how she visualized her life and how she visualized the life in general. It's just, it has such a huge impact on me and how I live my own life. She just romanticized everything about every moment of every day, and that made her whole entire life seem magical, and that was something that I definitely took into myself and did the same thing, and I still do the same thing. I definitely pulled a lot of those messages from that book, as well as Anne's willingness to be so kind, but also to, you know, she had a temper, which I definitely identified with, because I want to be the nicest, most sweet person in the world, but I definitely have a temper, and I have to, like, chill it out. I get that from my mom for sure. And just the relationship between Anne and Diana was just something that I always wanted. You know, I just identified with being someone who wanted to have a bosom buddy. Like, I wanted a best friend that I could just tell anything to and not feel weird. I had lots of best friends, but they weren't like, you know what I mean? They weren't like, you know. But, you know, now I do, so it's cool. Even just the time period. To hear you'll burp, gross. The time period, the fashion of that time, and just the gorgeous countryside. I loved it. I just loved it so much. So definitely Anne of Green Gables. That was a long answer. Something you wish you could tell yourself 5 years ago. 5 years ago. 5 years. So 5 years ago, Yule was a little wee baby, and I was, again, lonely and sad and scared. We lived in Florida, away from all of my family and friends, and I was just terrified. I was just really scared of being a mom, because it's scary. What would you say to tiny Mama Mint 5 years ago? I would probably tell myself to call my mom, you know, and you know, you're doing good, kid. Don't worry about it. You're doing great. Everything's fine. You're going to have a great child. It's going to be awesome. And, you know, eat another piece of cake. Who cares? How many pets do you have, and what are their names? Okay, so we have 3 dogs. Kaiju, Pippin, and Willie. And we have 5 cats. Alien, Merlin, Catra, Sirius, and Hermione. We have a tortoise, Scoots. And we have like 27 frogs. And they all have Star Trek names, like Cardassian and Spock and Picard and I really want to get a bunny, but I'll wait a couple of years for a bunny. And yeah, we love animals. And most of our animals, I think all but like 2 are adopted. Like, they're all rescued from the streets, you know what I mean? How do you cope with depression? Does it stop you from everyday spiritual practice? Yes, it does. Yeah. For me, when I feel myself feeling sad, which happens, you know, sometimes just randomly during the day, especially now, I just recognize that feeling, and I'm like, okay, what do you need to do so that you're not wallowing in this sadness? That's like the first thing that I think of. Like, okay, what do you need to do? What do you need to do so that you're not just like, you know, in a horrible mood? So usually what I do is I grab a blanket, a cup of tea, and I get my blanket, wrap up in the blanket, I get my, you know, laptop on, and I watch something funny, something like hilarious, like not just something like cute and funny, because then I'll just cry. I watch something like absurd and hilarious. So I'll watch like Jenna Marbles, I'll watch Slice and Rice, I'll watch Saturday Night Live, I'll watch something that's so funny that I'm gonna laugh. And then I do that for as long as it takes. And sometimes I'll work on a project, or I'll draw. Drawing is something I really like to do when I'm feeling sad. And then if I really need to, I cry, and I cry, and I cry, and I cry, and I cry, do the crying. And usually after I cry a bunch of times, I feel a bit better. And it does get in the way of spiritual practice sometimes, because when I wake up and feel sad, I don't want to do anything. And a lot of people have that feeling when you're really depressed. You don't want to do anything at all, like nothing. So eating, make myself eat food and drink some liquid, you know, and if I really need to, I'll sleep. Just take care of yourself and understand that it's not going to last forever. The feeling is not going to last forever. It will lift at some point and you'll be able to get on with your life. But I think just recognizing those feelings when they start and taking care of what you can, you know, wrapping yourself up like a burrito really quickly, get some cake, and just like, you know, cuddle yourself for a bit, and it's okay. My hot water bottle too, I really like. I like having my hot water bottle. Even if I'm not in any kind of pain, I just want to hold something warm. It really helps me. Favorite song of all time. Super hard. What I can say is this. I really enjoy the Bee Gees. Okay, I'm a really huge Bee Gees fan. And one of my life songs, like one of those songs that just plays in the back of my head all the time for my entire life, is Staying Alive. I love that song. I've gone through something and it's over and I'm just like, all right, that song just comes on in the back of my head. Tuna in the Brine by Silverchair. It's a beautiful song. I love that song. Ugh. It's so gorgeous. I love that song. I'm sure there is a song that I love so much that I'm forgetting right now. Bad Boy by Red Velvet. I love that song. It sounds so beautiful. I always turn it up really loud so I can hear each layer in the production because it's so nice. Pagan Poetry by Bjork. I love that song too. Staying Alive, Tuna in the Bride, and Pagan Poetry are like my favorite songs. Thoughts on hexing people? Okay, so you know what? This is a really great question because we might even end with this one because I might talk for a long time, because a lot of people have this idea that I hate hexing people, or that I hate witches that hex people or something like that, and that is completely not true. First of all, I don't hate anyone. I have no reason to hate anybody. I don't. I mean, oh, okay, that's not true. If you know what I mean. I don't hate anyone, and I definitely would never judge anyone for life choices that they make, because I'm not a god. Like I don't have any personal opinion about your life choices unless they involve me, and then like I'm probably down with it, whatever, you know. It's probably gonna be a good time, whatever. But hexing, I think that there is a time in any witch's life where they think I'm gonna hex this person, or I'm gonna do this, and whether or not they do that is their choice. And you know, I hope that whatever result they get is the result that is best for everyone, and that's it. I don't hex people. I've never hexed anyone. I have to think about it. I don't think so. No, I have never hexed anyone. I just don't feel the need to. Because I know that everything will balance out. If you want to like tip that balance faster in your favor, go for it. You know what I mean? If someone is like hurting you, your family, your people that you love, like do what you gotta do. Am I looking at the camera or not? Okay, do what you gotta do. Do whatever you feel is right. I'm down for people making decisions for themselves about their bodies and their life and whatever they choose to do. I'm in full support of people doing what they want. Do I want anyone to hex me? No. Okay. Do I have protection against hexing? Of course. Do what you gotta do. Do what you want to do. It's your life. There have been plenty of times where I've been like, I'm gonna hex that person, but I didn't do it, you know? I didn't do it, but like, there have been plenty of times where I felt like I was angry enough to be like, oh, fuck that, you know? So, yeah, hex me what, I don't care. Do you find it hard to get back into spirituality after a loss or drama in your life? No, I don't find it hard. I know that some people will lose faith in their beliefs and stuff like that during a time of great grief, and I understand that completely. I completely understand that, because it's very difficult to understand why something so horrible would happen. It's really difficult to understand what the motives are and what, you know, a deity would be doing by causing so much pain and destruction. I understand that But I do also think that because of free will and because of how much power we hold as people, there are things that we just can't control. And I do, I lean on my spirituality at times like that. I definitely lean on my spirituality. I lean on the energies that I feel and that I can tell are moving around me and moving through me. And kind of just, I use those feelings that I have to confirm that everything is definitely going to be okay. You know what I mean? When I have all of these like horrible things happening at once, I go straight to my spirituality. I go straight to my place of, okay, what is it that y'all are trying to tell me? Right? Because this is wild and it's painful. So what can I do to move through this smoothly and to come out on the other side better than I was before, so that I can help people who are going through the same thing? Because I think that that's a huge, huge, huge part of going through tragedy, is being able to experience it and understand each layer of it, and then come out ready and available to help other people who are going through it. It's, oh man, the people who have helped me, just like beautiful. And that's because they've gone through something very similar. They understand how I feel, and so they offer me their experience, and then it helps me so much so that I can offer someone else my experience. So I don't find it hard personally to be surrounded by magic in a time of tragedy, because I know that I can receive so much confirmation and so much assurance and so much, you know, cozy hug snuggles through magic. So I really appreciate being able to be someone who is magically inclined and who can feel that energy. That was so serious. It was so serious. I hope this whole video wasn't completely serious. It may have been. I'm gonna stop there because a lot of the other questions are about the Fae and about crystals, and I have a crystal video coming up on Friday. Is it the Friday video? No, the Friday video was organite. Oh, it is a crystal video. It is a crystal video. So yeah, so I have a crystal video on Friday. So I may answer some of those questions in Friday's video. We'll see. But shop update is October. What is it? This weekend, Friday and Saturday. Whatever the date is. I'll put the date up there. Got lovely Galaxy videos coming out. Putting some previews of all the new products in my Instagram story all week. So check that out. I hope you're staying fresh, staying cool in this beautiful fall weather. Happy October. Okay, I'm gonna peace out. Have a lovely evening. Mwah.